took the plunge. We have decided to, well, after months of persuasion from my husband, knows how obsessed I am about low toxic, non-toxic things. And I know a few of you on my personal social media have asked me to make an account basically making people aware, and I've just not been as confident to do it because one, don't like speaking in front of cameras, two, I'm 3 months postpartum, so I am a tired wreck, as mums will know how it is. Also, I'm just taking the plunge now to do it because I do think we need to make people aware of what's in products, what we can avoid, what we should avoid, what we should be using, because I think it's helped my family over the past 4 or 5 years. And basically, I started looking into all this when my dad got ill a few years back now, and he got cancer, and my brain spiraled thinking, how can I make his lifestyle better? How can I make him live as long as he can? And bless him, I did say, this is what you need to do, Dad. You need to change your diet. You need to use these products. You can't be using this. And he was like, look, Charles, I am not changing my lifestyle now. I've lived 50 odd years of doing what I'm doing. If I die tomorrow, I want to do it happy. And you know what? Fair enough. I'm glad he did that. But now, me living on, I wanted to restart researching, and I got obsessive with it. I did. A lot of people around me, would be like, oh, you can't always research all the time and it take a long time. But me, I think researching products to make my family healthier, why wouldn't I do that? Not everybody's interested in it, but personally I was. I remember one day I went home when my dad was in hospital and I needed to declutter my brain space. I was like, I need to declutter. And I just watched, I remember that night before I went to the hospital, I watched minimalistic videos online. And I was like, I need to live like that because my brain feels so heavy right now. So I did gut 80 to 90% of my house. And I remember telling my dad that, and he was like, you're an absolute psycho. But it then spiraled from there. Once he passed away, I was like, no, I can't live not knowing what I'm putting into my body, or knowing that actively not looking into products. I'm just running with it because it's in the supermarkets and it's £2.50 and everybody else is using it. I just didn't want to live like that. I wanted to look into things and make my lifestyle better, especially for my children. Roll back 7 years ago, I'd just buy India. I was a 24-year-old mum. I'd just buy India that's my youngest daughter. I'd buy her any products off the supermarket thinking, oh, but it's right, it's got baby things on it. It says natural. Why wouldn't I put that on my child's skin? Then realise, why is she getting eczema? I've only put bubble bath in a bath. And then people were saying, oh yeah, but you should only put it in once a week. But why? If I was using something natural, I could use it all the time because it wouldn't be affecting her skin. So what is in this product? So I didn't argue it at the time. I was using it and then going to the doctors and they were prescribing her with creams. And then, it's like a backwards society, isn't it? Like, doctors, yeah, you can have that, but it's the products on the shelf that are making her like that. Fast forward 7 years and I've had a son now who's 3 months old, and I wanted to change everything about what I did with my daughter. You learn, don't you, along the way. You can't be expected to know everything. So fast forward 7 years, yes, he's only 3 months old, but I've noticed a massive difference in them 3 months. The nappy cream that I use once in a blue moon because he doesn't need it, because I use non-toxic nappies, non-toxic wipes. The nappy cream that I use is natural, don't even really need to use it. He's never had cradle cap. His skin is lovely. Rewind 7 years ago, India was a total opposite. And do I feel guilty for that? No, because I didn't know at the time. But now, me knowing and the research that I've done over the years, I want to make everyone aware around me, because I think, obviously, especially for people that are not bothered and they do want to go to the supermarket and use that stuff off the shelf, that's fine. Because some people might think, oh yeah, but it costs an absolute fortune to look at all natural stuff or to make your own. Why could I be bothered making my own? We're not saying that. We're just saying even some things possibly on the supermarket shelf are better than others. So even making that tiny bit of a small change is worth it in my eyes. And I just think everyone who's on this channel now watching me clearly wants to make a tiny bit of difference to their family's life, even if that means getting rid of some of the pans that they're cooking with and using stainless steel, or changing the bubble bath that's in the baby's bath because they're dry skin or eczema. You know, making that small bit of difference helps you massively. For one, saves you going to the doctors every other week. Why has my child got eczema? Saves you going to the dermatologist. Why is my skin coming out in? Because I remember I was using whatever products because they were great on the market. Everyone was using them. And then I'd be like, but why am I getting eye dermatitis? What is happening? And because I was putting anything on my face, I suffered massively with spots, dry skin. It was so sore. And I was thinking, yeah, but everybody's using that. And it's in the it's in the high street. Why it surely it's okay. It says natural this, natural that. But sadly, they're allowed to put on 80% natural, and it's not at all, which is really scary when you think about it. And I also think I want my children to grow up being more aware of what they're putting in the bodies and on the bodies, so where they can do small changes along the way will help them massively when they're older. So I just think we're going to go on this journey together. We're going to figure it out. We're open to opinions. You know, we're here to give advice along the way. If you want to take that advice, great. If you don't, absolutely fine. Not everybody's on board with this, but I just think if you're currently watching this now, you want to make yourself more aware of what's out there, the changes that you can make, and how you can make your lifestyle better.